Hey everybody, this is the Extreme Channel. We're all about extreme collectibles, and a little over a year ago I did this video right here, and it was actually kind of a haha funny prank video. It was about the statues that I regret selling, and after a quick intro I essentially said none of them, and then I played elevator music for 8 or 10 minutes to make sure I get enough advertising time. And it was probably my most disliked video, which I actually even predicted at the beginning. Well, today I'm going to tell you the statues I actually really do regret selling. Or will I? As the Extreme Channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we are giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Extreme Channel. If that upsets you and you already gave me a thumbs down, I can turn your day around with the coldest water bottle. That's right, these water bottles keep things cold 36 to 100 hours. I use it for everything. Beer, alcohol, piss. It will definitely keep it cold for you. And if you want to buy one, there's a link below. Use the code EXTREME. You get 10% off. Or if you want to win one for free, there's a link below as well. I almost stuttered because there's alcohol in here. But let's kick it off. As I said in the intro, today we're actually doing a countdown of the top 10 high-end statues or collectibles that I've sold and I now hashtag regret. That's right, not hashtag restraint, but hashtag regret. Well, as you guys know, when you're buying so many statues, sometimes you have funds that are limiting, or a wife that is limiting those funds, or maybe you have, for me, space constraints is more of an issue. So as you buy all these new statues, you continually to churn over and sell old ones to make room. Now, realistically, of all the ones I've sold, and I have no idea how many, I'd have to count, but there's probably 50 plus, there's some that I have no qualms about selling it. One example is the old Sideshow Carnage. I hated that statue. And if it's one of your favorites and you love it, that is fantastic. Sometimes people have differences of opinion, though you're wrong. So, with that being said, today I'm going to look at the top 10 statues that actually, if the circumstances were right, most of these I would probably buy back. And I've sold for multiple reasons. Sometimes it's changing the direction of my collection. Sometimes it's space. Some of these on the list I made a hell of a lot of money on, and as a businessman, I just couldn't pass up that opportunity. So I'll talk about why I got rid of each one, but let's just kick it off, and in traditional extreme fashion, we're going to do some honorable mentions. And my first three pieces we're kind of going to group together. I actually didn't sell. I gave away in giveaways. As you saw in the intro, we give away a lot of statues on this channel because that's another way for me just to give back to you guys because I am blessed with some extra resources. So the ones I'm talking about were my 1/4 scale PCS Mortal Kombat, starting with this Baraka statue right here. I actually love this. He's probably one of my favorite players in Mortal Kombat, at least Mortal Kombat 9 that this was from. So I was sad to give him away, but as you guys know where this is going, the next one is the Scorpion. Again, an honorable mention. I wish I still had this. I think PCS did a really, really cool job, and it's kind of my homage to Mortal Kombat because these are my three favorite characters because the third right here is Sub-Zero. This is who I would probably play the most because I was best with him. But I do really regret getting rid of these statues, and if I could turn back time, I would do it and keep them. Another honorable mention was this custom Captain America Secret Empire. So if you missed this, this was one of my first reviews. This is a custom piece that actually Captain America worked for Hydra. And I regret this for a few reasons. Number one, a lot of times I sell stuff near retail. I could have gotten a lot more money. I didn't. Second, he's a badass statue. He's just pretty cool in general. And third, I actually kept the custom crossbones right here that he pairs really well with. So I wish I could still display those together. The last honorable mentions kind of grouped together as they're all from XM Studios and they are all Marvel pieces. First is their Brown Wolverine. Now I currently don't own a Brown Wolverine in my collection, so this is the best Brown Wolverine that I've actually seen in person. There's some custom ones I think that might beat it that are coming out. I do have a Dio coming very soon, but I totally regret their XM Sabretooth. I think this is the best licensed Sabretooth made in my opinion. I do have a custom one that I like quite a bit better. I've actually done a comparison video you can check out right here. And kind of for the same reasons, XM Studios Ghost Rider. I remember this was one of my first XM Studios purchases. It might have been my first, but I love this piece. As you guys know, I have a custom Ghost Rider that I did a comparison video between the two and ultimately the custom one out. And I didn't need two of those. That's why I got rid of it. So with that being said, those are the honorable mentions. So now we're going to go through the top 10. And the reason why I sold each one is very different. But to kick it off, first is this Venom bust right here. This one was actually interesting. We auctioned it off for charity, and I wish I'm just kidding. But actually, it's pretty cool where this piece went. The buyer of it, great supporter of the channel, Chris and his son Logan. They not only auctioned it off for charity, but they actually were able to add this to his son's collection. And here is actually a clip of him opening it up on Christmas. Pretty cool.
Are you ready?
Go ahead, come on.
Kraken is released.
What is that?
I don't even know.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Daddy will have to put the tongue on.
Careful, careful. Daddy bought it off of Mr. X.
We're going to have to put that on your dresser. Mom, you'll have to clean off your
Remember
dresser.
like Venom?
So let's start with the real top 10. So my first is this Dark Side piece right here. And one of the reasons I regret selling this is I actually won it in a raffle for free. And it's a pretty damn cool 1/4 scale Dark Side piece. There's some things I didn't like about it. I was too stupid to put his Omega beams or his flames upside down when I did the review. Because yes, sometimes I'm stupid. But nonetheless, it's a pretty cool piece. I do have one coming. It's actually going to go right next to Apocalypse, right there. He's standing up next to a throne. But I would have loved to display him with my DC pieces over there. Number 9 is a recent one. It's Sideshow Jugs. I still think this is the best Juggernaut that's out on the market. But again, as a reemphasis from the video, I sold it because he just didn't pair well because he was leaning over so much. He was smaller than he should be with some other 1/4 scale X-Men pieces. And nonetheless, an awesome buyer, another great supporter of the channel, actually ended up winning him in the auction. Number 8 is XM Studios Magneto. Now this one I sold because he's underscaled. He is. I put him next to other throne pieces, next to other 1/4 scale pieces. If he wasn't underscaled, I would have kept him. But this is an amazing piece. I know there's some customs coming out, so it'll be interesting to see if they beat him. But nonetheless, very much regret not having him with my throne collection behind me. This Iceman. So this isn't the favorite Iceman piece that I have, but I liked it because it was so simple. Simple for Iceman, that is. It still displayed his powers. I love the cool ice bridge. I do regret not having this piece anymore, although I've really refrained on my X-Men collection to try and have one of each character, with Magneto and Wolverine being exceptions because they're some of my favorite characters of all time. Number 6, I actually sold to Gem Mint, so he now has my DNA, and it's not just because I put it on the statue, is Sideshow's Deadpool Heatseeker. So I think this is an amazing statue. I love every part of it, how it encompassed Deadpool. I think Deadpool is a great character. I have him in some diodes and some other variants, so I don't have an actual true Deadpool statue anymore, but I kind of regret selling this, especially Jem is such a harsh negotiator. He kept negotiating it down, and then it arrived broken, even better. Number 5 is one I actually never got in hand because I had it with my painter, is this custom Magneto piece. You guys know recently I've reviewed a few kind of what I would say, not grail Magneto pieces, but highly sought after, amazing ones. This was also part of that set. So I sold this because I was able to make some money on it, and I got to save money on not a painter, and honestly I don't have room for it with all the other great Magneto statues I have. Number 4, I sold to Grandpa, and this one, honestly, I mostly regret. It was a kit, this Spider-Man kit right here. I mostly regret because I sold it to him for retail because he's my grandpa. I didn't want to rip him off. And then he turned around and sold it for a profit. You bastard. I will never... I don't care. I'm happy Grandpa made some money on it. Or am I? No, I think it's an amazing Spider-Man, but I have some other awesome Spider-Man pieces, so I'm happy to whoever the new buyer was this. And, of course, they have to pay for painting and go through that whole trouble. But this was all before Mrs. X actually started painting statues, which she's almost done with this Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. She's just finishing some of the skin tones, so hopefully we'll bring a video of that to you very soon. So now we're to the top 3, and some of them you can already imagine that, yes, that's definitely going to be in the list, but I think it's going to surprise you, especially number 2. So number 3 is actually this piece right here. Phase 2, this is often touted as the best Wolverine statue. It's a little bit overscaled, Wolverine vs. Wendigo. It's an awesome, awesome piece on so many levels, but I made a lot of money selling this, and I sold it to a fantastic buyer. So it was kind of a win-win, honestly, but it was just a business deal I really couldn't make an exception to. And the way it went down, it was actually on a video of statues I would never sell, and this buyer, who I know really well because he sells me a lot of stuff, he messaged me and he's like, hey man, seriously, how much? Just shoot me a number. And I shot him a crazy number, and he agreed to it. So we went ahead and went with that, but I do miss that piece. Now, number 2, like I said, is one that'll shock you. I recently mentioned it in another video, but it's this custom reverse flash piece. And the reason why I regret this is I have a DC setup going with all the Justice League members and then kind of their main enemies next to them. So I used to own this, and I have this custom flash right here, which is actually by the same maker. So it would have been really cool if I had those two next to each other. Now, number 1, I missed for a few reasons. I made a lot of money on this one and got a great virtual friend as well. But the number 1 I regret is just such a unique piece. It was this custom Wolverine Wolf Killer. It was another business deal I couldn't say no to. Very similar situation. This guy reached out to me, and he's like, you know, hey, how much are you willing to let it go for? And I was like, I love this piece, so it'd have to be a lot. And I shot him a big number, and he accepted. And that was that. So I really wish I had that piece because it's such a different representation of Wolverine. And it's one of those pieces, if you're looking at it, be like, I really don't like the dynamics of it or the anatomy or the face, you have to see it in person. It's simply amazing. I wouldn't say it's the best Wolverine statue out there, but it's definitely one to remember. So now comes the best part of the video. Throw down in the comments below a statue that you regret selling. And the reason why I asked you to comment is because of this. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. So again, thanks guys so much. I appreciate you putting up with me, just not today, but on every level. And if you want to put up with me more, hit that picture of me. You can subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. If those are ones I sell, think of the ones I buy. So you want to make sure to stay tuned for that. So give me a like on the way out. That really helps. I really appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Take care.